listen to Creative Space on Omega Radio every Wednesday at 10:30 with your host, Catherine Shapiro. Good morning to all of you out there in Omega Radio land. This is Catherine Shapiro, your host of the Creative Space, and we are so happy to be here on Omega Radio with our wonderful partners in the engineering section. Always loving how they make us look good no matter what happens. And I'm wishing you a good morning and a happy day of creativity and inspiration. Let's talk about being creative for just 1 second. It is not the province of talented people, nor is it only available to those with a talent for what we would call art. Creativity is an impulse that's given to everyone. All it is a desire to bring something new and beautiful into the world. And that's the premise that we start from here in the creative space. We know that every single one of you out there in Omega Radio Land has something that you are destined to be and destined to do that is creative. You could be a musician. You could be a poet. You could be a visual artist, as I am. You could be a baker. Food is one of the biggest art forms there is because it is God's gift to us and an essential part of keeping us alive, functioning, and happy. One of the biggest blessings we have in my tradition is called hamotzi. It thanks the good Lord for bringing the bread out from the earth. And the thing about creativity and the arts is that it is something that needs to be brought out, nurtured, and supported. We are so lucky in our lives to find that one person who sees what we are as artists, sees that we are creative, and loves the fact that we are able to bring these new things into the world. Now, who is that person for you? If you would like to thank them today, please do give us a call. The number here at Omega Radio is 954-900-4310. I know you can call from all sorts of different places, and yes, there is an app for that. We are also on all the social media platforms, and we are happy to hear from our friends all over the Caribbean because we know you're out there and we love you, and we would love to help support you. I have had, up to this point, 18 either in studio or call-in guests to our program. Is that the most amazing thing ever? There are all sorts of creative people out there just waiting to be found. And if you are one of them, please do give us a call and let us know what you are up to lately. We have the privilege of having terrific partners here at Omega Radio with lots of wonderful services and beautiful things to offer the community. As much as the good message they send out and the good word they broadcast, they do a lot of terrific things for our community members. And I would encourage you to do the same by planting a seed and giving back to this wonderful community here at Omega Church. I have been privileged and pleased to have met a lot of wonderful guest artists here on our show. Sheila Elias, one of our wonderful neighbors down in North Miami, is having an exhibit on the 11th of October, and it will be opening to the public with a few special guests for a reception. If you would like to become a special guest to that reception and a meet and greet with our good friend Sandy and our good friend Sheila, please do give us a call. Again, that local Florida number is 954 900 4310. I am so lucky and privileged to be a member of this community for 18 years. I know there are a lot of good people out there. And sometimes you wonder, what does it take to begin your career and your world and your life as an artist? A lot of times I think it begins with the fact that you see yourself as an artist and you are worthy of creation. We are all creators. If you are familiar with the saying that there is a place for everything and everything in its place, this is the place where you can get connected to great artists, terrific institutions, wonderful events, and marvelous collectors who are lovers and supporters of the world of art. I am, as always, your perfectly imperfect host, and this is 101.9 FM Omega Radio in the creative space. How many of you have reached out online to other artists? I have lately come in contact with a lot of people through the internet and on great sites such as LinkedIn.com and Alignable.com. One of the features for people who want to learn more about their community and the different services that are available for artists is called LinkedIn Learning. What it does is it gives you a specific set of tutorials and learning pieces and videos and texts that are designed to help you in your chosen career. If you put in you're a visual artist, this LinkedIn Learning program will set you up with tutorials that are made to make you better at what you do. One of them is called Creativity for All. It is a series of discussions and talks about what it takes to access that creative impulse that we all have. In the traditions that are out there, there is always a feeling of a soul and a divine spark. It's that little part of us that is in the image of the divine that always wants to reach out to God and to hear that great message that you are all worthy and you are all good people at your core. There is always good in people. And our job as human beings is to reach out to it, encourage it, and find it. This does that. It tells you how to get in touch with the more creative part of yourself. And the one thing that keeps you from doing that is you. I honestly feel that there's a little voice inside your head. I call it the inner critic. What that little guy says is that you're not worthy, you're not doing enough, you're not being good enough, but you are. Know this and read it in every text that's holy and good that you approach. God created you from the womb. He knows you, He loves you, and you are worthy of every good thing in life. That implies that you have a responsibility to give back that good to people who need it. For people who are given much, much is required. How many times, how many opportunities do we miss? Who's that guy walking down the street that's maybe looking a little ragged and upset and maybe lost? Happens a lot in Florida. There's a lot of people looking for direction out there. This is a good place to find it. Your local synagogue is a great place to find it. Your local church that knows God and understands God and puts the work out there in the community that shows people what God is like. Those are the people that you need to hang out with and trust and be with. We all know who they are. We really do. And they're always there, but sometimes you miss things. We're finite creatures with very narrow vision. We see only the things that are in front of us sometimes. And we don't see the things that are behind us or beside us. Remember your past because it's gotten you to where you are. Remember the people who stood by your side and helped you when you were down because it may be your turn someday. Remember the guy that's in front of you, leading your way, encouraging you because he's the one that you're going to have to support and help and say thank you to when the task is done. And you may take turns being in all of these spots. We all need to be able to do all of these tasks to make ourselves a better world. Because God can't do it by himself. If he could, my feeling is he might have done it already. I think what the divine presence is expecting of us is to create a world with his help that's more beautiful, more happy, and works well for everyone. Pain is one of those things that does not have to happen, that can be instructive. So is the one thing that you didn't want to happen that does. So is that thing that doesn't follow the rules. A parent goes before a child. A kid gets cancer. That doesn't follow the rules. That we think of as human beings as rules. But who has said that they are lifting us up through the things that happen to us that will follow us and be with us through that shadow, through the valley, through those uncomfortable spots that we don't like a lot, but they're there nonetheless. That's our inner critic. And that is ourselves trying to get in our own way. That is the enemy of all that's good saying to us, hey, I don't want you to be a spiritual person. I don't want you to do the work that God intended you to do. And by the way, most of those creatures out there, they're perfectly human, just like you and me. There are enough devils on earth to satisfy the most urgent needs of any entity out there that's considered a demon or a bad spirit. There is so much good out there, and that is the thing that we are hunting for and living for today and trying to create in our own homes with a creative space. Here on Omega Radio, what we try to do is bring good messages and satisfying, wonderful things to people. At the same time, we're bringing them instructions on how to live that good life and to be that good person that God wants everyone to be. Are you a person who wants to help other people? I know you are. And there are lots of ways out there to support creativity in your neighborhood. Go do that. Have a event. Have a fundraiser for a good cause. Be a friend to your next door neighbor. Start a community garden. Remember when I said food is an art? There are so many places out there that are called food deserts. They have not that much fresh food or non-processed food in their neighborhoods. My father, God bless his soul, had a community garden. He grew food for the whole neighborhood. And when he passed back in 2019, the community asked itself, what are we going to do? So a bunch of their neighbors stepped up and said, we'll take over. We'll mow the lawn. We'll plant the seed. We'll do the hoeing and the mowing and the growing. Sometimes it takes one person to start a movement. And that is what I am at here. I'm just one person on a little lonely microphone saying to you, come on out. Let me meet you in your community. If you see me around, and you will, I'm often on a 3-wheeled bike. One of the things that Martin Luther King always said is that change requires that you move. It requires you move forward and you keep in touch with the members of your community that you serve. The wonderful thing about the creative space is we are all members of the South Florida community. Omega Radio serves the world, but it serves most in particular this little corner of it called South Florida. It's a multicultural, diverse, gospel-oriented station that gives great and wonderful tidings to the community and a good message from a good teacher and a very good source of love, peace, and kindness. I am a person who has crossed many rivers. I was born and raised Catholic, converted to Judaism, and I have discovered there are a lot of ways that divine people get in touch with that divine spark that's inside of them. If you are looking for a way to find your way, there are so many good people here at Omega ready to speak to you, to help you find your way, like they have helped me in a way find mine. I have become stronger in the knowledge that we are all beautiful and God has created us to do great things. We are also capable of doing bad things. God knows we all do. We make mistakes. But those things are not defining of us. They should never define us. And they should always be on. We should always be on the alert for them. Because they're not the person that we really are. Find the person that you really are. Get in touch with that inner creative impulse that you have to do something that's really good. If you have an idea, there are lots of people who are out there for your good to help you bring it to the world. Come see us. We'll lead you to them. And we are happy to be here to help you all in the creative space every week on Wednesdays at 10:30. Be good to each other. Give a lot of love. Have a lot of faith. And let's get creative together. Good morning. If you are with us a little bit late, we are at 101.9 FM Omega Radio, and this is your host of the Creative Space, Catherine Shapiro. We are always ready to talk. We are live on Facebook. We are on YouTube. You can find past episodes there. If you want to get in touch with me at any time, get with me on cmscreationsart.com. That's my webpage, and you can see my work. I am a collage artist, spiritually inspired, and with a message of peace, joy, and understanding through art. I have been in the creative space almost, I guess it's 8 months now. We just celebrated our 6-month anniversary this August. We are looking forward to another new year in the creative space. Watch for all kinds of terrific events coming to you live from the studio, live on location, live from our guest artist studios, and in the wonderful community here at Coral Springs. There are lots of opportunities to participate in what's called public art. Public art is a wonderful opportunity for any artist. It's defined as art that's in public spaces like schools, like libraries. Go to the Broward County website for any details, for further information. I have 2 minutes, and in the time that I would love to say thank you to everyone out there in Omega Radio Land. You are the reason I am here, and I am glad to be serving this beautiful community here in South Florida and throughout the world that is Omega Radio. We are so glad to be here for you. Be here for us. If you love Omega Radio, support Omega Radio. Because we love you and we would love to be here for you. I am looking forward to a great Thanksgiving season and giving thanks in the creative space. Till next week, this is Catherine Shapiro. From within your creative space to mine, be good to each other. And thank you.
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful.
Tune in and listen. Creative Space on Omega Radio every Wednesday at 10:30 with your host, Catherine Shapiro.
Welcome to